Hello everyone. Oh, sorry, that could have been a good
I thought you were
picture.
taking a picture.
We'll do a picture after because that would be a good one. We're at Arches National Park. There are arches here that way. We'll go see those soon, but some of the sights to look at here, I'm actually going to move the camera and show you. Also, it's hot. Don't wear a jacket if it's 65 degrees. Lesson learned. Also, quick note, I should have said this earlier, Arches National Park is in Utah. Southern Utah to be exact.
No, just eastern Utah. Just East Utah.
Well,
just straight up East Utah.
Okay, eastern Utah, but down. So, okay, eastern. Kenny knows directions. He drove. Well, I slept. Not really. I didn't sleep that much. I had too many good stories to tell and jokes to tell. Hey, what was that joke you said earlier? That was pretty good. The viewers know. What was the one you said that you got mad at me about, but you said it? Okay. So we actually pulled to the side on a small trail called
Park Avenue.
Park Avenue, thank you. I almost said pancake because that's what I had for breakfast. Park Avenue Trail. And it seemed like not that big of a thing, and the sign said, oh, it's like 5 minutes of a walk-ish, or small, it said. But the views were actually really good. You got all of this. And not even just looking at this scenery, but even looking down at the ground was super cool. And look at that one over there. Pretty inspiring. That was Kenny's joke. Yep.
You don't really have to credit me, please.
No, it was. It was. I wish I thought of it. And just look at all these cool contours in the ground from what looks like water flowing through here. Even just looking down is cool. So just behind me here is Balancing Rock.
Balanced rock.
Balanced rock. So balanced. I said that. Balanced rock, I think I said. And if we go here, it's kind of crazy. It does actually look like at any point it could fall down. But it hasn't yet while we've been here, so that's good. But it is crazy. Let me get a shot of it the other way, not with just me in this. And look at these arches here. Beautiful. B-U-T-T-E-F-U-L. Beautiful. Okay. Ow! So Kenny just punched my arm and now it really hurts and I can barely hold this camera up. But, you know, sacrifices. I can barely hold this phone. But, you know, for you guys. Now some of you might be wondering, why is this called Arches National Park? Nobody really knows. It's a mystery. That's the thing. My guess is probably named after someone with the last name Arches. Maybe Bob Arches or David Arches. Maybe David Archuleta. Who knows? I'm just kidding. I'm just totally just kidding. No one really knows why. I'm just kidding. It's named after all these arches. I knew that. They have these petroglyphs here that says it was carved sometime between 1650 and 1850.
We're guessing they're carved by the kids that lived here in 1850.
There's actually a cabin down there where some people lived. Kenny thinks these are not legitimate. They are actually really intact. So he might be right. But here they are. Yeah, so this is quite a date range. 1650 to 1850. 200 years. Who knows? Part of the mystery. Or not. Okay, here's an actual real tip. You can use these. What are they called? Cairns?
I don't know.
Cairns. So if you're ever like wondering where the trail is, people use these to mark, because sometimes it does get confusing. It's not as clearly marked the entire way, especially in these giant national parks. So you can actually use these to guide your way. And it's going to take us back to our car. So a little tip there that is actually useful. Okay, so we made our way to Broken Arch back here, and it actually has a little crack in the middle, hence the name, fun fact. And the landscape back here looks really cool. As you can see, the best part is there's no one else here. Nobody. So, just a recommendation. We saw one other group, two, maybe one.
That's really relevant here.
Well, in case people are wondering, like, how many people did you run into on the way? They aren't.
There's a trail to get here.
There's a trail.
There's a reason there's not a lot of people here.
Yes. And you had to climb this, and I did sustain a small injury. My fault. But it was a small rock, so stupid reason why. So there you go. Oh, I think I'm gonna eat my banana soon too.
They don't need to know that either.
They don't need to know that, so I'll stop this now. So this one up here is Landscape Arch. And you'll notice the rubble down below. In 1991, it actually crumbled down. And it is what you see today, how thin it is. So hikers had to actually flee due to rain deterioration. This part of the arch actually just crumbled down. You see the rubble below. That is not something I would have liked to have been here for. Would have been very scary indeed. All that just crumbling beneath you. They said it sounded like thunder, and they initially thought it was. So it must have been pretty darn terrifying. Heading to see the site of either a meteorite crash or, okay, it was salt coming up, right? Was the second thing?
Yeah. Salt uplift.
Uplift?
Uplift.
A salt uplift from the ground. They don't know. It's part of the mystery. And the best part is, as we've gone on these hikes, I've not gotten, like winded or anything. Even though the air is dry, some people get winded. But I'm okay. So, we'll see you guys in a bit and show you that. Oh, and I packed water today. We are in Canyonlands National Park now. Alright, so you see it behind me. It looks, I'm going to use my scientific deduction skills and say it was salt coming up. Because if you look down, it looks more like salt coming up than a meteorite crashing. Do you think I'm right? I think it's the salt. I'm going with option B.
I mean, it is a giant crater, though. So, how do you explain that?
Yes. Touche. Maybe it's both. I'm gonna go with both. Porque no los dos. Okay, so even the sign points out, we made it to the crater, that it's a mystery. They don't know what this is from. It says, with more research, we may solve the mystery of this crater and others on our planet. I'm gonna stop this video because this would be a good picture. Okay, so I actually read this sign fully now, and scientists actually think this is probably from a meteorite, which this is what it would look like. 200 million years ago, a meteor hurtled towards the Earth, and it hit the ground. It vaporized on impact. And then the force of the impact fractured the rock, creating a huge crater. And then rock layers rebounded inward and upward to fill the void. And then erosion exposed the tilted, broken core of the impact site. That's probably what happened. There's a whole thing, too, about the salt layer above.
Yeah.
So that theory is
Not here.
that
Reading the whole thing.
fish,
Reading the whole sign.
salt layer. No, I believe the meteorite salted this fast. Wind, salt rising, water erodes, exposing what you see today. That was the abbreviated Cliff Notes version. So there you go.
Excuse me, you got it.
Yep. Yeah, okay, Now I changed my mind. I'm gonna go with both. So there it is. A pretty cool sight nonetheless. I'm gonna take actual pictures now. So here we go. And Kenny's crazily climbing this overlook. That's how high up it is. Yeah, there. I thought this side had a little path, but I could be mistaken. They climb that very fast. And just, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't, yeah, that, you're making me nervous. Yeah, try that other way. Yeah. You're good overall? You're good in that spot? Yeah, that's very high anyway. Yeah. I'll take a picture now. That was video. Let me take a picture.
You want to try and stick your head in there?
Here's me for scale. I feel like there's an animal in here.
Yeah.
Oh god. It actually is cool. I'm just afraid of an animal. There's not. I don't hear anything.
Cool.
Okay, so that was Arches and Canyonlands National Park. Our legs are tired. We're a little sweaty, but it was worth it.
Some of
it was
us more
fun.
than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My feet especially.
Gross.
But I will say Canyonlands. Had you heard of it before this?
Canyonlands.
Canyonlands. Sorry, I got that wrong. I had not heard of it before this.
It's pretty awesome.
And it's pretty awesome.
I'd recommend making a solid, like, dedicated visit to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
We only spent a couple hours here. Not enough time.
I agree. It was actually really cool. I went in with like, oh, it's the park next to Arches, so it's not that great probably. Like every national park, it was awesome. It was great, so I really recommend it. So go visit your national parks. Message every time. We had a great time and now we gotta go. Bye-bye.